Hey, amazing fans! Welcome to another relaxing moment with VIVA'S stories. Before we dive into the drama, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world to us. Now, grab a seat, sit back, relax, and let's journey into the story together. Zainab had always imagined a glamorous life. Raised in the bustling heart of Kaduna City, her days were once filled with sparkling boutiques, iced lattes, and Instagram filters. She met Musa during a youth empowerment program in her final year of Polytechnic. His charm was raw and honest, unrefined but magnetic. He didn't wear designer shoes. His hands were calloused from years of tilling soil. His laughter was loud, his faith in the earth stronger than most men's faith in God. Zainab fell for that rugged simplicity. But love, she would later learn, isn't always enough. They moved to Musa's village in Niger State, lush, quiet, and miles away from Zainab's comfort zone. For a while, she played along. She smiled as she helped plant okra. She laughed with the market women. She even bathed under the stars. But then the rain stopped. And so did her patience. "How long do you expect me to live like this, Musa?" Zainab shouted one humid evening. The twins, only 3 years old, clung to her wrapper as she paced the dusty compound. The cracked bucket she used for water fetched from miles away sat dry beside her. Musa looked up from his stool, gently sharpening his machete. "It's just a season, Zainab. The drought will end. It always does." "Season? This is not a season. This is suffering." She stormed into their single-room hut and emerged moments later with a tattered gonna-must-go bag. "I didn't leave a city with power and water just to sit in mud and wait for rain that never comes. Your dreams of being a great farmer? They're dead. And you know what else is dead? This marriage." Musa stood, stunned. The twins began to cry. "Please, think of the boys," he said softly, eyes pleading. But Zainab was already walking out the gate. "I'll come for them when I have something better to offer than hunger and dust." The village went quiet after Zainab left. Musa didn't chase her. Instead, that night, he took the twins to the foot of the old mango tree behind their hut, a tree his father once called the witness of men's promises. He held them close. The moon bathed their tear-streaked faces in soft silver. "My sons," he whispered, his voice firm, "I may be poor. I may have nothing but this tree and this land. But I will raise you to be kings, even if it kills me." Kareem, the older twin by 6 minutes, hiccuped through his sobs. Where did Mummy go?" Musa took a deep breath. "She went to find her own path. But our path is here. And it's going to be hard. But we'll walk it together." The next morning, Musa buried his wedding photo under the mango tree. "I will not let bitterness raise my children," he murmured. Then he strapped one boy to his back, held the other's hand, and walked into the village square, ready to start again. Musa, once known as the proud farmer of Tunga, was now just the man who carries people's loads. He became a human wheelbarrow. For 200 naira, he would carry bags of tomatoes, baskets of yam, or even goats to and from the market stalls. It was hard, undignified work. His back ached. His feet cracked. His pride bled. But his boys ate. And that was enough. One afternoon, while waiting under a kiosk's shade, Musa spotted an old woman struggling to lift a sack of dried maize. He rushed over. "Let me, Mama." She squinted at him. "Ah, Musa, is this how life has dealt you?" He only smiled. "Life deals. We play our hand." She chuckled and handed him the sack. After he loaded it, she reached into the folds of her wrapper and pulled out a handful of dried maize kernels. "Take this." "Ma, I can't take your food." "It's not food. It's seeds, for the warriors you're raising." Word spread about Musa's humility. Some laughed. Others whispered behind his back. But he stayed silent. He woke at 4 a.m. daily, cooked pap, washed clothes, bathed the boys, carried goods at the market, returned at sunset, and told the boys stories till they slept. Kareem once asked, "Baba, are you not tired?" Musa smiled, kissed his forehead, and said, "Tired is not for fathers. Not when the future sleeps in your arms." Education was never an option. It was a must. When Kareem and Kabir turned 5, Musa approached the village headmaster. "I want to enroll my boys." The man laughed. "Do you even have money for their uniforms?" Musa removed his cap and handed him a small nylon bag containing coins, weeks of earnings. "Let me pay in parts. Every week. Just give them a seat." The headmaster, moved by the gesture, agreed. Musa sold his late father's radio, the only relic of value he owned, to buy 2 pairs of uniforms. He patched them carefully. When Kareem tore his shirt on the first day, Musa used thread from his own wrapper to sew it back. Every evening, after the market, Musa would sit with the boys by candlelight and teach them letters and numbers. He had only finished primary 6, but his mind was sharp. He used the village walls to draw alphabets, used sticks to teach counting, and used farm tools to explain shapes. "Let your minds be your machetes," he'd say. "They will clear paths no one else can see." One night, Kabir stared into the candle's flame. "Baba, are we poor?" Musa paused, his hands stilling over the math slate. "We are not rich in coins. But we are rich in hope. And that, my son, feeds the soul longer." By 14, Kareem was different. He had a gift for fixing things. Radios, fans, lamps, anything discarded. He once repaired a broken radio for an old widow, and she paid him with gari and soap. Kabir, quieter and more observant, loved computers. He'd sit at the back of the school's lab, a room with only 2 working systems, just to watch others type. When a missionary group donated old laptops to the village, Kabir begged for the worst one, the one with a cracked screen and missing keys. He fixed it with super glue and rubber from a slipper. Soon he was writing simple code, teaching himself how to design apps with poor network and YouTube tutorials that barely loaded. One night, Kareem burst into their hut, eyes gleaming. "Baba, I fixed the headmaster's generator." Musa looked up from stirring soup. "Alone?" He nodded. "He gave me 5,000 naira. Musa's hands trembled. They used half for new sandals, and the rest for Kabir to buy internet data. The boys began talking about business ideas at night. "What if we created a solar lamp that farmers can charge during the day?" Kabir suggested. "Or a radio that can charge phones too," Kareem added. Musa would smile, quietly sipping his pap. They weren't just dreaming. They were designing a future. The harmattan blew with a vengeance that December morning, coating the entire village in red dust. Yet Kabir and Kareem were on the roof of the primary health center, adjusting solar panels, voluntarily. The clinic had been in darkness for weeks. Nurses delivered babies by candlelight. So the twins offered to help, free of charge. As they worked, a black SUV pulled up, a rare sight in the village. Out stepped a man in an Italian suit, sweat already forming under his eyes. With him was the state commissioner for energy. "I heard this village clinic got power again," he muttered, surprised. "But the project we funded hasn't even started yet." A nurse pointed to the roof. "Those boys. They did it." The suited man squinted. "Kids." He waited. When the boys climbed down, he approached. "Who trained you?" he asked, stunned by their neat work. Kabir wiped sweat from his brow. "Our father." "And YouTube," he said with a grin. The man laughed, fascinated. "YouTube? What do you know about inverters, solar modules, diode bypassing?" Kareem stepped forward. "We know enough to light up rural homes. That's our goal." The man raised an eyebrow. "My name is Mr. Gokadabi. I run a clean energy company in Lagos. I came here for a conference, but maybe I came here for something more." He handed them his card. "Come see me. I'll sponsor your education anywhere in the world. On one condition, you must come back and build." The boys were stunned. Kabir blinked. "Sir, you're not joking?" Mr. Gok smiled. "Brilliance deserves wings. But you must promise me, no matter how far you go, come back to the soil that raised you." They looked at each other. Then at Musa, who had just arrived with their lunch wrapped in leaves. He didn't understand what was happening, but when they explained, he wept silently, hands to the sky. "God, you remembered me." Years flew by like a dream. From the dust of Niger to the bright campuses of MIT and the University of Toronto, The twins excelled beyond expectation. Kareem became a mechanical genius. Kabir, a coding prodigy. They interned in Germany, spoke at TEDx in Singapore. And when they graduated with double distinctions, international companies lined up with job offers. But they remembered the mango tree. They returned to Nigeria, not with fanfare but with focus. GreenMinds Technologies was born in a single room in Minna, a startup aimed at solving Africa's rural energy crisis with affordable solar kits, smart irrigation systems, and agricultural drones. Within 2 years, GreenMinds powered over 500 villages, trained hundreds of youths, and won global awards. CNN dubbed them the Sons of Soil. Their net worth soared past $100 million, but they remained grounded. In interviews, they always said the same thing. We were raised by a farmer who taught us to plant seeds of greatness, even in dry ground. Musa, now gray and slower in steps, couldn't walk in peace anymore. Everyone wanted a photo, a handshake, a blessing. The man who once carried yams now stood before world leaders, invited to forums in Kenya, Dubai, and Switzerland. At a UN summit on rural empowerment, he stood in traditional attire, holding a carved staff. I am not a professor, he began, but I am a father. And in the absence of a mother, I fed my children with discipline, clothed them in wisdom, and bathed them in love. That is what produced the men you celebrate today. The room gave a standing ovation. A popular talk show host invited him to Lagos. On set, she asked, "What kept you going when your wife left you?" Musa smiled. Pain is a seed. If you plant it in bitterness, it grows poison. If you plant it in love, it grows strength. The episode went viral. Meanwhile, Kareem and Kabir were expanding GreenMinds across Africa. They developed apps that allowed villagers to monitor water levels, solar usage, and even receive farming tips in local languages. One day, a video surfaced online. A drone delivering solar panels to a remote community in Congo. Children cheered. Old women cried. The world couldn't believe that these were once the twin boys who shared a torn mattress in a mud house. Zainab was now working in a small pharmacy in Abuja. Her third marriage had failed. Life had not been kind. One day, she saw a billboard. GreenMinds Technologies, powering Africa, one village at a time. And there they were. Her sons. Dressed in suits. Smiling confidently. Her knees buckled. She watched every video she could find. Read every article. And then she wept. The next weekend, she boarded a bus to Tunga. With nothing but a headscarf and trembling hands. Musa saw her first. She stood at the gate, unsure if she would be chased away. The twins were in town for a village project. They stepped out together, stunned to silence. "My boys," she whispered, falling to her knees. Kareem helped her up. Kabir couldn't speak. "I was wrong. I mocked what I didn't understand. I don't expect anything. Just forgiveness." Musa stood behind them, staff in hand. The twins turned to him. He looked at Zainab for a long time, then nodded slowly. "We remember. But we choose peace." Zainab broke down, hugging them both. That night, she sat at the dinner table she once stormed away from. The boys served her food. Musa prayed. And for the first time in decades, the house knew peace again. The village was now unrecognizable. Modern homes. Clean energy. A tech center. And in the center of it all, a statue. Musa. In bronze. Hoe in hand. A child on his back. Eyes fixed forward. The plaque read, "The farmer who raised giants." On the day it was unveiled, dignitaries, media, and villagers filled the square. Musa didn't speak long. "I am not the hero. My sons are. But I only had 2 tools, love and sacrifice. And they were enough." He retired soon after and founded the Mango Tree Foundation, a non-profit supporting single fathers. Every evening he sat under the same tree with his grandchildren. "You see that mango tree?" he'd say, pointing. "It witnessed my promise. And now it watches you grow." The children would listen, wide-eyed. Kareem's daughter once asked, "Grandpa, were you really poor?" Musa chuckled. "No, my dear. I was never poor. I just didn't have money yet." And when he passed, years later, he was buried beneath the mango tree. On his tombstone were his own words. "I did not leave wealth, I left warriors." Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell for newly created content.